Okay. This is one fool and one Bible. I guess that's what I'm calling it. So, this is, I guess, my beginner's guide, according to the way that I started to study the Bible. This is for someone who has not studied the Bible and is not comfortable knowing where to start. For what I'm using is an NIV Lee Strobel Study Bible. It was not in this condition when I started reading it, but I got into it a lot, so it's pretty beat up. So the way I start with the mindset. Now, prior to me actually opening up the Bible, I was doing a lot of searching. I was finally convinced after hearing enough evidence for Jesus' existence and for him being who he said he is. And so it finally started with okay, Jesus, I trust you. And I trust that even with this interpretation, I know it's not in its native language when it was written, but I trust that you're going to speak through this and that I'm going to get to know you. So I came with questions. And the first thing I did was I would have topics that I wanted to understand more deeply. And so I would look in the back of the Bible. There's a concordance that has, so this is love, and it brings up many of the times, many of the verses where love is brought up. But also, this one is a study Bible, so it has commentaries. And there is a section, I don't remember if it's in front of the concordance or after the concordance, so bear with me just a moment. Subject index, and this is where you find the subjects that the Lee Strobel, when he was doing his studies in order to try to disprove Christianity, he was an atheist journalist, and he went to many experts, and he eventually decided that it would take him more faith to not believe in Jesus than to believe in him, so he had a conversion to Christianity. So we'll say the word faith. Here's the topic. And there's a case for Christ, case for the Creator, and case for faith. So if I wanted to go to page 107, I can find a case for the Creator, and I could read his article, gleaning from his wisdom and his studies. So 107. The faith required to believe in naturalism. And the verse he put in, is basing this on, is, "For in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them. But he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy." Exodus 20:11. So we'll just go into his commentary here. Beginning in Genesis 1:1, the Bible speaks plainly about the main character in the creation story, God, as the acting agent in creation. God was specific and intentional. See Exodus 20:11. And though it takes faith to believe in a creator, belief in atheistic theories requires as much faith, if not more. Those who believe everything came about purely by natural processes without any divine contribution must believe that 1. Nothing produces everything. 2. Non-life produces life. 3. Randomness produces fine-tuning. 4. Chaos produces information. 5. Unconsciousness produces consciousness. And 6. Non-reason produces reason. This type of naturalism requires a blind leap of faith that many rational people are not willing to make. Simply put, The central pillars of atheistic theory quickly rot away when exposed to scrutiny. So that was just the commentator of this Bible. But if I wanted to know about the concept of gossip, so it talks about it a lot in Proverbs 11:13, and it gives a short, not the whole verse, but it just says G betrays the confidence because it's short. So if I were to go, and of course you might have to go all the way to the front. I know where to find it, but in the front it tells you where Proverbs begins, and it tells you where all of the books begin. So it says that Proverbs is between Psalms and Ecclesiastes. There we go. So this is even helpful because it says it cuts it up into sections. So the first 5 books, that's called the Pentateuch. And that means the 5 laws or something like that. Then the historical books, poetic books, and then the prophetic books after that. But the poetic books, Proverbs is found 873. Okay, so I found Proverbs. Now, what I was going for is gossip. So this says 11:13. So I'd go to 11:13. So it says Proverbs, and there's a number. Like this says 14, then a colon 9. So I'm looking for 11:13. So here we are. Chapter 11, it starts with a big old 11. Then you follow down. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy man keeps a secret. Now the good thing with Proverbs is they're little bite-sized phrases that give you wisdom. So with this, I might read it, go for a walk, meditate on it, think about it. Gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy man keeps a secret. The more you go into it, the more you can think about times when that has happened, people who have been trustworthy, people who have not shown trustworthiness, who have gossiped and slandered and stuff like that. And you can just have this, you could have hours of thinking and just processing through it. And it gives you time to bring it into your understanding and your awareness, and that seed planted can germinate and then grow, and then maybe the fruit, the outcomes of you understanding that is, I want to be more trustworthy. So I'll hold on to secrets, and people could tell me anything, and I could keep that between us, and where our confidence is kept. So you can process through that and confess your sin with me, and I will be able to handle it maturely and keep it between us so that you can trust me. Simple. That was just one little verse. So if I wanted to look up if I was just curious, so with this one, it's helpful because like in the beginning of each book, it gives a little themes and stuff like that. So it says 1, God's faithfulness, 2, righteousness, 3, reconciliation. This is in Romans. So I could read 1, God's faithfulness. A central theme in Romans is God's covenant faithfulness, his fidelity to his promise and to Abraham is revealed in salvation based on faith. Both Jews and Gentiles find righteousness before God through faith in Jesus. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it gives a couple of verses, 1:16 through 17. So I'd go and I'd look for Romans 1:16 through 17. So it's in the first chapter, verse 16. I am not ashamed of the gospel because of the power of God and the salvation of everyone who believes, first for the Jew, then for the Gentile. For in the gospel a righteousness from God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith. If you read through it and you don't understand a word, say Gentile, then you could, I think it's more fun to open a dictionary. But we got phones. Look it up. Oh, Gentile is a... Okay, that makes more sense. Now I'm understanding more of it. So you break that up piece by piece, listen to a train every once in a while. You break it up piece by piece, and every word that you don't know, just look it up. And then, now that you understand what it's saying, you can sit with it, meditate with it, pray about it, talk about it with God. So when I first started reading, I am not ashamed, because I was very bad at reading. So now I'll break it up into pieces. I am not ashamed. I am not ashamed. And you can use an ebb and a flow and a cadence to make it sound better. I am not ashamed of the gospel. I am not ashamed of the gospel. Then you keep on going. Because it is the power of God. Because it is the power of God. Because it is the power of God. And then you go back and read that. I am not ashamed of the gospel because it is the power of God. And the more you practice it, the more you're ready to say it openly and use that charisma and that cadence to make it palatable, so it's pleasing to hear. They can enjoy it, but they can also get something out of it if you ever want to share it with someone. And it's good to practice repetition so that it's remembered, because the more you sharpen yourself, the more you can cut through the uncertainty, and the more light you bring to it, and the more you understand it, the more you can shine into misunderstanding and lack of knowledge, and then they can see through the light that has been shined through you. I went into the other one before, but I won't do that. You can search it on your own if you're interested in that. It's Romans 3:21 through 30. Also, it's helpful to write, not just type, but write down definitions or thoughts and stuff like that in a journal. And that's the first One Fool, One Bible. Might be the only one you get. Maybe we'll get more. We'll see. So God bless you, and enjoy your studies. Bye.